So like I said, dividing polynomials using long division. That's why we did our long division problems for bell work. So we're just going to jump in to some examples. So we got a polynomial divided by a polynomial. X cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 8 divided by x minus 1. Polynomial divided by a polynomial. So this looks similar to my first problem on my bell work. So which one is my dividend? Which polynomial?
The dividend is inside, right?
Yep.
So that would be the x cubed minus x squared.
Yep, the first one, right?
Yeah.
So the first polynomial would be my dividend. So what does that make my divisor? X minus 1. So I'm going to write it the exact same way I wrote it over here. 31 divided by 5, 31 went under the division symbol. So my x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 8 is going to go under my division symbol. X minus 1 is going to go outside the division symbol. So we have x minus 1 as our divisor. We have x cubed minus x squared minus 2x plus 8 as our dividend. Everyone good so far with that? Just like we did our bell work. Okay, so for our bell work, we asked ourselves how many times 5 went into 31, correct? We're going to kind of do something like that. We're going to be looking at our first term of our divisor, so x.
I thought if you have like a minus one or a plus one, you add it to the dividend.
Not quite. Not for today, at least. Okay. So I'm looking at my first term of my divisor, and I'm asking myself, I'm also looking at the first term of my dividend. I'm asking myself, how many times does x go into x cubed? AKA, x times what would give me x cubed?
X squared.
X squared, right? If I have x times x squared, I would add their exponents, right? And that'd give me x to the third. So x times x squared gives me x to the third, correct? So my x squared's going to go right up here. And notice I lined it up with its like term. Okay? Is everyone good with me so far? Very similar to what we did over here. However many times 5 went into 31, I put it up here. However many times x goes into x cubed, I put it up here. What did we do with that 6 in our bell work? Multiplied by 5, right? Multiplied it by our divisor. So we're going to take our x squared and multiply it by our divisor. Okay? So what's x squared times x? X cubed. What's x squared times negative 1?
Negative 1 x.
Negative 1x squared, or just negative x squared, right? After we multiplied, what did we do? Subtract. We're going to subtract right here. So I have negative x squared minus negative x squared, correct? In that farthest right column. So what would that give me? They would cancel each other out, right? I'd get 0x squared. And then my x to the third minus x to the third would give me 0x to the third, or they would just cancel each other out. I'm going to leave that 0x squared, though, for now. That way we can use it for the rest of our division problem. Okay? Looking at these problems over here, after I subtracted, what did I do? I brought down my next digit. So what am I going to do over here? Bring down my next term. So negative 2x. Is everyone with me still? Make sure we're awake. Everyone's
How
head
come
should be up.
We canceled out the x cubed, but didn't cancel out the negative x squared.
Because I need to use that in my successive order. If I crossed it out, it would look a little wonky at the end, and I want to get the correct answer. So we just want to cancel one thing at a time.
Could
Okay.
put it as 0.
I did.
Like just 0.
Right, you could do that. Yep. So now, over here, I saw how many times 11 went into 88, correct? So now I'm asking myself, x times what would give me 0x squared? 0x, right? Technically. If you multiply the x's, add up the exponents to get x squared, x times x would give me x squared. Does that make sense? So 0x times x would give me 0x squared, or 0. But for our purposes for right now, we're going to call it 0x squared. And then 0x times negative 1 would give me what?
Negative x squared.
0x times negative 1? 0x. Now I'm just going to subtract these. I'll show y'all what would happen if we would have canceled that out. Okay. Negative 2x minus 0x. Give me negative 2x. And 0x squareds cancel each other out. And then what do?
You bring down the 8.
Bring down my plus 8. And now I'm seeing x times what would give me negative 2x? Negative 2. So now I'm going to multiply my negative 2 through my divisor. So what's negative 2 times x? Negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1. Positive 2. Subtract again. I have 8 minus 2, which is 6. Negative 2x's cancel out. Do I have anything else to bring down?
No.
So what would my remainder be in this case?
It's 6.
6. So, this polynomial that I got up top of my division symbol, that's going to act as my whole number, like we had over here, right? So I have x squared. Now that we're writing our answer, do I need that 0x? Nope. So x squared minus 2. What did we say our remainder was? 6.
Or would it be over
X
x minus 1?
Very good. And instead of writing it right up next to our whole number, I'm going to put a plus sign. 6 over x minus 1. That'd be my answer.
So anytime you have like that extra number, you just add it?
Yeah. If we have a mixed number over here, this is technically 5 plus 3/4. I'm not multiplying it, am I? It's being added to it. We just don't put a plus sign here. So I need to represent it as adding over here as well. Okay? And if I wanted to check my answer, I could. Because a division problem, let's say right here for this first one, if I take my answer and multiply it by the divisor, I get back to the dividend, correct? So I could do the same thing here. I could take my answer, multiply it by my divisor, and I should get the dividend back. So if you ever want to check your answer, you could do that.
And can't you get rid of that negative 2 by adding 2 to the numerator and the denominator?
We're not solving an equation right now. If we were solving an equation, you could add 2 to both sides and get rid of that 2.
Well, I was thinking of simplifying it.
Say that again.
Well, I mean, are we just trying to simplify it?
I'm trying to figure out what polynomial times this polynomial would give me the dividend.
Yes.
And that I just found it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on example 1? Make sure we're awake and writing this down. Go ahead and move on to the next example. Okay, x to the fourth plus 2x squared minus x plus 5 divided by x squared minus x plus 1. X to the fourth plus 2x squared minus x plus 5 divided by x squared minus x plus 1. Which one's my dividend? The numerator. Which one's my divisor? The denominator. Very good. So we're just going to write it like we've been writing it to divide by hand. X squared minus x plus 1 as my divisor. X to the fourth. Notice, do I have an x cubed term? No. For my dividing purposes, I do still want to represent that x cubed term. So how can I represent it? 0x cubed. I want to have all my successive exponents, even if I have to represent them with a 0. That helps us out on our division. Okay? Everyone good with that? Okay. Someone raise your hand and tell me what to do. Mallory? Okay. I thought you had your hand raised. Remember, we're looking at the first term of our dividend and our divisor. I'm asking myself, x squared times what would give me x to the fourth? X squared, right? So I'm going to put my x squared over here. Everyone good with that? Start off, look at your first term of both the divisor and the dividend. See what that first term, what times that gives you the first term of your dividend. So now I need to take this x squared up here and multiply it through my divisor. So what's x squared times x squared? X to the fourth. X squared times negative x. Negative x cubed. X squared times 1. 1x squared or just x squared. What do I do with that?
Can you subtract it?
Subtract it. So for that first column on the right, I have 2x squared minus x squared. What would that give me? 2x squared minus x squared.
X squared.
1x squared or just x squared. 0x cubed minus negative x cubed. Huh? Not negative. Positive. That minus the negative would turn it to a positive. If I have 0 x cubed minus negative x cubed, I'd have to do stay, change. Bless you. And that'd give me positive x cubed. And the x to the fourths would just cancel. What do I need to do from there? Bring down my minus x. And someone raise your hand and give me my next step.
You see what x squared times what?
Gives me what?
0x. Okay, x cubed.
Yep, looking at the first term again of each thing. So x squared times what would give me x cubed? Just a positive x, right? And now I can multiply my x through my divisor. So what's x times x squared? X cubed. X times negative x. Negative x squared. X times 1. Plus x. Everyone good with me so far? Subtract. Negative x minus x.
Zero.
What?
0.
Not 2, not 0.
1. 1.
Or it's
Negative.
Negative 2x. It's negative x minus x. So it's like a negative 1 minus 1.
I got confused for a second until I saw the negative symbol.
Yep. You got to be real careful with these subtracting. Okay? Because you're subtracting the whole polynomial, not just that first term. Now I have x squared minus negative x squared. 2x squared. The x cubes cancel out. You guys notice how we're stair-stepping from the fourth to the third to the second, so on and so forth? That's why we needed that cubed or that squared on the first example. That's why I had it as 0x squared. Okay? Because in my first hour, I canceled that out because I've not done this stuff in a while, and it messed things up. Okay? So we're just kind of canceling them one at a time. What do I need to do now?
See what x squared times what would give you 2x squared.
Not yet. We're almost there.
Oh, you bring down the 5.
Got to bring down my 5. Now I'm seeing what times x squared gives me 2x squared. 2. So I have my plus 2 up here. Make sure you line up your like terms up here. So now I multiply my 2 through my divisor. 2 times x squared. 2x squared. 2 times negative x. Negative 2x. 2 times 1. 2. Now I can subtract. So I have 5 minus 2. 3. Negative 2x minus negative 2x. 0. They would cancel each other out, right? And am I going to be bringing anything else down? No? So do you think it's okay if I cancel those 2's out now? Yep. And 2x squared minus 2x squared also cancels out. So what's my remainder? 3. So someone raise your hand if you can give me my full answer. I heard someone say x squared plus x plus 2.
And then 3 over, or plus 3 over x squared minus x plus 1.
Yep. Make sure you put your remainder over your divisor. There'd be our answer. Questions on example 2? We're kind of getting the hang of it. It's kind of a long process, but it's very, very, very similar to long division with just regular numbers, correct? There's a few minor differences here and there, but overall it's generally the same. Okay? Am I good to move on to the last example? Okay, divide 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 5x minus 1 by x squared plus 3x plus 2. Which one's my dividend? The first one, right? 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 5x minus 1. I know that's my dividend because it says divide that by. If you're dividing something by something, that's the divisor. So my divisor is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Do I need to be careful of anything with my dividend? Very good. I don't have an x squared term, but I still need to represent it with 0x squared. So 2x to the 4th plus 3x cubed plus 0x squared plus 5x minus 1. Everyone good with that? Setting up the division problem. All right. Someone raise your hand. Don't just shout it out. Raise your hand. If you can help me with my first step. So, what times x squared would give me 2x to the 4th? 2x squared. Very good. So where am I going to put that 2x squared?
Above 0x.
Above my 0x squared. Very good. 2x squared. Now what do I do? Multiply my 2x squared through my divisor. So 2x squared times x squared gives me 2x to the 4th. 2x squared times 3x. Do what? Not 5x cubed. 6x cubed. And then 2x squared times 2. Very good. 4x squared. What's next? Subtract. Zero x squared minus 4x squared. Negative 4x squared. 3x cubed minus 6x cubed. Negative 3x cubed. The x to the 4th cancel out. Everyone good? What's next? Bring down my next term, which is plus 5x. Someone else, raise your hand and tell me what I need to do now. Someone else help me out.
Do you see what x squared plus 93x would be, which is negative 3x?
Very good. X squared times negative 3x would give me negative 3x cubed. So I'm multiplying that negative 3x through my divisor. We already know what negative 3x times x squared gives us. What's negative 3x times 3x? Negative 9x squared. You got to be really careful. You're adding exponents. You got a whole bunch of different signs going on, so you got to really kind of take your time and be careful with what you're doing here. Negative 3x times 2? Negative 6x. Now I'm subtracting 5x minus negative 6x. 11x. Positive 11x. Negative 4x squared minus negative 9x squared. 5x squared. 3x cubes cancel. Questions so far? We're almost done. Getting there. What's next? Bring down my next term. Minus 1. And someone else who I haven't heard from today really, tell me what I need to put above my negative 1. Can someone tell me, who I haven't heard from today, what times x squared would give me 5x squared? What times x squared gives me 5x squared? What?
5.
Very good. 5. So I've got a plus 5 up here. And now I'm multiplying my 5 through my divisor. 5 times x squared we said was 5x squared. 5 times 3x would give me 15x. 5 times 2? 10. Subtracting down here, I have negative 1 minus 10. Negative 11. 11x minus 15x. Negative 4x. X squareds cancel out. Do I have anything else to bring down? No, so what's my remainder? Negative 4x minus 11. So I can now write my answer. 2x squared minus 3x plus 5. I'm going to write that somewhere else where I have more room. We said our remainder was negative 4x minus 11. What would my denominator be?
X
X squared
squared plus 2.
plus 3x plus 2. There would be my answer. Questions on example 3? Did it get a little easier as we went on? I know it kind of takes a little while, but same process as what we were doing up here, right? Not too bad. Any questions? Okay. Here's our assignment. It's 6 problems. Page 187, numbers 5 through 10 all. These do kind of take a little while. We got like 10 minutes left in class. This is going to be due Monday. On Canvas. But we will have another assignment tomorrow. Tomorrow we're learning about synthetic division. So if you want to look in your book and read about synthetic division, you're more than welcome.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes. Any other questions before I stop the recording?